break up, come back, break up, come back. I'm not gonna completely rubbish the fact that people actually do get back together. Hello guys, so if we are not strangers, do me a favor and subscribe right now. Hi guys, I want to talk real quick about something that I believe everyone at some point or the other in their life have probably gone through, and that is heartbreaks. So if you're involved in any relationship, ideally you may have at some point in your life gone through a heartbreak. Yeah, so it's kind of like there's a hole in your heart, like something want to burst out and it hurts you. I mean, your emotions are swelling so much and you're spending so much time just thinking about this other person, right? So it hurts, it really does, because there's a feeling of rejection that you keep getting every time this person crosses your mind. Now, the first thing you need to learn about this is it isn't your fault. When it comes to any relationship, stop thinking about the issue as what did you do wrong. Sometimes it's really just about the other individual. The other person doesn't have the capacity to accommodate your emotions or to accommodate your love. And if you're the kind of person who gives so much love out there, so much emotions out there, it's quite possible that the other individual don't know how to handle it. And it's also possible that the other individual is probably engaged with someone else. And so it's not really your fault. It's not about the better choice. I know a lot of people think that in a relationship, people have a plethora of options and then they can choose a better choice for themselves, but it's not really about that. You see, love isn't even selective. You could be the perfect person for this individual, and yet this person just prefers whom the person prefers. People could love douche for all they care. It's just love. It doesn't say any of those things. So you may not just be the right match for this individual. So figure this out first of all. It is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You are created in your own uniqueness, and you're doing what you're doing based on how unique you are. Now, from your own unique standpoint or from your own unique point of view, this individual just don't know how to match your uniqueness with her or with his own uniqueness. So just take it. It's not your fault. Number two, get this. The moment this person probably broke up with you, which is probably going to be the case if you're the one who is suffering some serious amounts of emotions. So the moment this person probably broke up with you, identify one thing, or basically just get used to one thing. There's no hope. Put hope aside. Stop thinking about a reconciliation. Stop thinking about you two getting back together. It probably wouldn't happen. Now, I'm not saying that you guys may not end up being friends. In truth, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years down the line, you guys may find it's easier to be in talking terms with each other. But till then, I need to understand one thing. Move on. Stop expecting a reconciliation. Stop expecting that someday you guys will get back together. Now, I'm not gonna completely rubbish the fact that people actually do get back together. There are people who go on and off in their relationships, break up, come back, break up, come back. I mean, it's quite toxic, but it happens. On off, on off, on off, because they were probably discovering themselves along the line in that relationship, and they allowed themselves to go off, figure out some things for themselves, and then came back with the mindset that, you know what, regardless of what I've gone through, I still want to be with this individual. So that tends to happen with some people, and that entire on-off thing happens. Yeah, with more maturity, you find out that you could probably stay with this person better than before. But the point is this: don't expect that to be your case. You see, if you're trying to heal from an emotional hurt, then you don't want to be nursing the idea that you can actually get back with this person. Because if you keep nursing the idea, you keep on expecting. It's kind of like your emotions. Your emotions is kind of like someone trapped in the prison who just breaks out every now and then you do something very stupid when it breaks out because you are angry, or you're extremely sad, or you're so disappointed as to why what happened, or you're feeling this pain, this rejection. You know, why should someone reject you? It's not about you. Remember that. So just tame that emotion when it's trying to happen. Tell yourself one thing: there is no hope. There's nothing you're gonna say, or there's nothing you're gonna do that's going to get this person to come back. Like I said, when it comes to love, people just make choices, and if the choice isn't you, fine. If the person has made up his or her mind that they are done, fine. Just embrace that notion and try and move on. Now, number 3, what I need you to understand is this. First of all, the way you were suffering, this other individual too is probably suffering. In relationship, one thing happens. Both of you don't just exchange feelings for each other or emotions for each other. You're also exchanging characteristic traits, personality traits. So there are things about you that you were not used to doing or even found interesting until you met this other individual. And there are things about this other individual that they may not have found interesting until they met you. So both of you basically came into each other's life and cross-pollinated your characteristics, your natures. So you two have become basically one in some way because you are trying to learn to understand each other at some point in your relationship, and you are trying to learn to become part of each other's lives. So there will be certain things about them that will become part of you. Are you following? Now, once that happens, the moment you choose to pull apart these things in question, tears off from each other and sticks to the other person. So the way you get nostalgic feelings about wanting to do something that a year before you met that individual you were never doing, it's the same way the other person will have that same nostalgic feelings about you. But like I said, if the other person elected to call it off, there's always going to be a reason behind it. So work with that mind frame that you are moving on. The other person will still feel the same hurts. What is keeping you in bad pain is not just the rejection itself, it's the fact that a part of you has been ripped off. That part of the other individual, him or her, that you held on so close to is no longer a part of you. But don't look at it from that perspective. It's still a part of you. You still have that new feature, that new trait, that new characteristic. You're like an individual 2.0. You've been upgraded because of this other person's impact in your life. Now, just hold on to that very impact and let it keep on building you. Remember, the ideal thing for you as an individual is not to necessarily find a partner that complements you, but it's to conquer self, to conquer you, to understand who you fully are at the core. Until you can find out who that individual is, you will not necessarily find the person who is suitable enough to match that individual. So you're still in a discovery, just go on it. Now, like I was saying, this other person is probably going through the same hurts as well. It's not going to be easy because remember, at some point this person was used to you. You were just part of this individual's life. Then all of a sudden, you're not. Whether it is because the person chose to have it that way, for whatever reason, understand that this person is probably going through the same thing you're going through. Maybe not at the grand scale that you're going through it, but the person is probably going through the same thing. Now, number 4, don't hate this individual. Don't do that at all. Like, just drop it. Understand this. Every person you've ever met in your life was put there for a purpose. Even when they do you wrong, sometimes think of it like failures in life. No matter how destined for greatness that you are, you will always meet roadblocks. The path isn't straight. I mean, we pray for a straight path, but in truth, life is just crooked and narrow. Because sometimes God has to lead you through an alleyway to teach you the lessons you need to break through the brick wall in front of you on that straight path. So understand that there will always be some failures and disappointments, and that is how your relationship should be like. Don't hate them. Don't be disgusted by them. Don't try to talk bad about them. Don't try to feel animosity towards them. Understand that they were there for a purpose, to strengthen your emotions perhaps. They were there to bring something out of you, something that you were never doing before until you met them. And sometimes these bad seeds that find their way into your life just come to teach you how to identify good characters. Remember, the very fact that you said yes to that douchebag shows that there's something wrong with your own sense of choice. That's the truth. No matter how sweet talking a person is, no matter how amazing the relationship seems like at the start, you would agree with me that in the first 2 weeks of your relationship, you could tell that there was something off. You would definitely agree with me. You could tell that there was something off, but you still chose to stay in it. That shows that you have a poor sense of choice, basically, and that experience would help you know better how to choose. So don't hate this individual. Sometimes when you look through that relationship map, you probably realize that these individuals in question, or these people who have gone through your life, who have done something to you that you probably felt disgusted about, who have hurt you and broken you into 1,000 pieces, who have shattered your soul, these individuals may have left an indelible positive impressions in your life as well. Like I said, there are always things that you pick up from people. Once characters joins, there are always things to learn from the other person, even though there may be things that you probably want to unlearn as soon as you get out of that relationship. So have that at the back of your mind. Don't try hating this individual. Now, when you can work with these guidelines I'm giving you right now, that you realize that it's all about appreciating yourself, appreciating who you are, appreciating that very common understanding that you are unique, you are blessed, you are precious, and that it is not your fault. It's more or less the other individual. And like I said, they're probably going through what you're going through, and they will never find someone else like you. They can never find someone who can match up to who you are or what you do, because you are so unique. And that unique thing you could give them, there is no one else out there that can give it to them. You will be happy again. Understand that there is no one perfect match for you. That's one perfect person who has been created for you. This is not a case of Adam and Eve placed in the Garden of Eden alone. No, you're not alone. This is a case of 7.5 billion people in the entire earth, and you chose one person that you connected to. You would definitely find someone else that you can also connect to, and it's going to be on a grander level. Just understand that in every relationship there are lessons to be learned. Learn those lessons. The moment you have those lessons ingrained in you, if you have those lessons already enshrined in your spirit, then it will mature you for the next relationship. And that's what you need to keep on carrying with you everywhere you go to. Now, every single relationship you probably have that may have gone so is to teach you something for the next relationship. Don't cut yourself out. Don't go about doing stupid things. I mean, especially when it comes to guys. Once you feel that rejection, just to justify that you're a man, that your ego is intact, we tend to go around playing with several other girls and creating a ripple effect of hurts. Don't do that. Understand, like I said, the idea is to conquer self, conquer who you are. If you can conquer who you are, that means you're more self-aware. You have an understanding of who your person is. You have an understanding of how to relate with the other individual going forward. Then it will help you build a better relationship in your next trial. Just understand that it's always to conquer self primarily, and respect the fact that every individual out there has something unique they can offer you, good or bad, whether they came to hurt you or they came to do you right. They have something unique they can offer you. Take that lesson and ignore the pain, ignore everything else that went wrong, and at the end of the day, you'll be better off for it. So till next time, guys, I want you to keep loving, keep being smart, keep being brave, and stay undefeated.